You really need to talk to the folks here at Next Level. I've got to tell you, just speaking to the people here, they are fired up, they get it, they've got the right balance, and they're all increasing their income, they're increasing their production.
But you're dealing with people that are in the trenches dealing with this, are practitioners, had failures, had successes, learned from it, and it's about helping you not just like get through the next month, but it's about creating legacy business for yourself.
But I can tell you that you are mission focused. I know you're purpose focused, and I can tell you that every loan officer that I've communicated with that's been part of your platform has been a raving fan.
Hello, everyone. Sean Zalmanoff here with your Next Level Loan Officers podcast, the #1 podcast for loan officers in this great land. Hey, if you are looking to find out more information, or these podcasts have just been so beneficial and you're ready to plug in, you can go to becomenextlevello.com and sign up, find some more about us, email support, anything you need to do right from there that tickles your fancy. So we have a special guest today. All our guests are special, but Tyler's part of our mastermind. Tyler, are you an OG? Have you been since you're almost an OG if you're not?
Pretty early. I think I came to the first live event in Dallas.
Okay.
So yeah.
Awesome. So we have Tyler Hodgson. He owns Next Mortgage in the DFW area. Where are you in exactly?
Our office is in Capel, which is right next to the airport.
Nice. Tyler runs a mega successful mortgage brokerage, newly married to a beautiful lady. So congratulate him for that. Recently built a house, and you've been buying some investment property. You built a nice commercial building last year. So your DNA is born and busy, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I can't stop. I can't relax. So just stay busy always. And when you look back, you're like, wow, look at all these things I've accomplished. But yeah. So
I want everybody to understand where you started and what you built, but this is your opportunity just to brag a little bit, and it's really not even bragging. It's just telling people where you're at right now. So talk about what you're closing this year, what you closed last year. You got 20 originators working with you. Man, tell us where your company's at, what you're doing, and then let's kind of go back to close to the beginning and work our way through your story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I personally produce, and then obviously I have a team, other loan officers who do their own personal production as well. And then we have our ops and support staff that assist everybody. So last year, my personal production was like 216 units. I think that's like 61 million or so in volume. And then as a company, we did 600 units. So it's a large portion, like 33% of the company volume. This year, I'm on track again, somewhere between probably 200 and 220 units personal production, and the company will do about 1,000 or 1,100 units. And that's currently, we're sitting at about 20 originators. We've got a couple part-timers who work other jobs, but a large portion of them are full-timers, newly licensed loan officers who joined NXT fresh and brand new and have trained them up. And then we've got a couple other seasoned loan officers who joined in. But a lot of our team has been brand new to the industry, just like I was, and just like a lot of us were. Most people just kind of happened into the industry. But yeah, we're growing. We're continuing to add more loan officers. And at this point, I don't have a specific number or mind, of how big we're going to grow. But I really love our culture and our team feel. And as long as we can keep that integrity and keep the family vibes, then I think we'll continue to grow. If I ever feel like we're just getting too big, like I'm an anti-corporate kind of guy, I wear t-shirts and stuff. So if we start getting too corporate, I told everyone to slap me over the back of the head and tell me to stop. So that's where we're at.
So that's pretty epic growth from 600 to 1,000 or 1,100 loans, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We just did a podcast recently with Barry Habib, and some of y'all may know who he is. And he originated a couple $1 billion in loans during his mortgage career. And one of the things that he mentioned that I've been talking about with my team a lot is stacking the S curves on top of each other. Obviously, almost every one of us in the industry had one last year, but Tyler, you're repeating that again this year. And that's where we win. That's where the dominance comes in, and exponential growth happens when you can do that year over year. Mm-hmm. So you're definitely unique in the fact that, dude, you're a CPA. Most people in the mortgage world are not a CPA.
Yeah.
We tend to be reviewing some tax returns from time to time, but dude, how does a CPA end up owning an awesome mortgage company and get to where you're at?
Well, I definitely get in a lot of arguments with underwriters about tax returns because they think they know and they don't. But that's beside the point. So I guess we can go back on kind of my origin, how I got in the mortgage industry a little bit, and how I did accounting and CPA and then fell into mortgage. So originally I joined the Marine Corps after high school. So I served 4 years in the military. I'm obviously the better looking Marine out of myself and Kenneth Travis.
Obviously.
But after the Marines, I went back to college. I went to University of North Texas, which is here just north of the DFW Metroplex. And some of you know them because they finally made the March Madness basketball tournament. Otherwise, nobody's probably ever heard of that university. So I went to college for accounting and thought that I was going to work my way up the corporate ladder, doing finance, become a CFO of a big company. I always kind of had these goals and motivations to, climb the corporate ladder, and I was interested in finance and numbers. So while I was in college, I wanted to use my VA loan to purchase a house because I was also getting interested in real estate investing. Why am I throwing away money on rent? When I've got roommates, I can go buy a house and have some roommates pay my mortgage. So I tried to get approved for a VA loan and actually met with a lady who owned a small mortgage company. And through a veterans organization, I was like, hey, I want to use my VA loan. She's like, well, you don't qualify because you're working part-time and you're in college. You're using the GI Bill. You don't have enough income. I was like, well, my roommates are going to help pay. And she's like, no, you can't qualify. But she offered me a job instead. So she needed help with some accounting and admin stuff for her mortgage company. So I went for a mortgage, ended up getting a job, and I started working for this company. At the same time, I finished up college. I got my CPA. I did an internship at an accounting firm doing CPA work, and kind of quickly realized, like, yeah, this isn't for me. I'm not going to do this and climb this corporate ladder like I thought I was going to. And after working at that other mortgage company for a little while, I started to see the ins and outs of the numbers, the finance, the process, and decided, just being very entrepreneurial myself and a go-getter, wanted to go start my own thing and, make a better process for my team, make a better process for my customers, charge less fees and pay my people more and find a way to make it work. So that's how NXT Mortgage was born, and decided in late 2016 to go start my own brokerage. And in 2017 is when the company actually got officially licensed. So at that time, when I made that jump, I had just got my personal license as a loan officer in January of 2016. So I had closed like 11 or 12 loans before I decided to go open my own brokerage.
Great idea.
Yeah, I mean, I had seen it all at that point. I knew everything. So I just, decided to make the jump. I had started doing accounting stuff. The company I was working for, they kept trying to tell me to get my mortgage license. And I just said, no, I'm not a salesperson. I'm an accounting person. I sit behind a desk and do numbers. There's no way I'm going to be a good loan officer. And, now I'm closing 200 units a year. So
well, they were right. You're a great loan officer. So
I guess I was. So yeah, I ended up getting licensed and then started my own brokerage. So that's sort of how I fell into it. Honestly, it just came down to me trying to use my VA loan, and I got offered a job at a mortgage company. and just sort of found the path, and very thankful for it, very blessed, and love what I do. I don't know that I would have ended up here if I hadn't have gone down those routes, but I would have ended up doing something, I think, similar. So, yeah.
You know, Tyler, if there wasn't a guy who came into the bar that I worked at all the time in college, and like I wouldn't ended up in the mortgage business either. I don't know anybody. Actually, you know, at this point, being 43 years old, I know a few people who are a few years older than me, whose sons are now in the business. So they may have grown up saying, I want to be a loan officer, but not many people grow up saying they want to be a loan officer.
Yeah. First generation mortgage people.
Yes. So a couple things I want to ask you first, before I get into the questions that I want to ask you. One, man, like there's something special about NXT and just the culture of what you've created, what you give back to the community, and just a little bit about who you are as really an individual, but as a company as well too. And I think that's, you know, that's what's let you attract some great people. That's what's allowing you to build. And man, I mean, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, our culture has been very important. So since I started the company, I wanted to be able to give back to others, give back to my team. I've always just kind of had this drive to find my own personal success. Like I'm definitely personally driven and motivated, and I want to be the best. I want to be number one on the list always. I'm very competitive.
Which you were on Scotsman's last year again.
Yeah, I wasn't number one, but you know, very competitive myself. But I've also always been driven to see others succeed and help other people get success. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of stemmed from my Marine Corps career. You know, when I was new and finally started learning things and getting experience, and then we had new guys coming in, you know, I love to train them and help them become successful too. So, you know, our culture has always been about helping others, giving back. And, you know, one thing we do, our progress over profits on my t-shirt, we donate 10% of our profits from every loan. We donate that back to a charity selected by the client. So every single client gets a post-closing survey. And if they fill that survey out, they get to choose the organization that will donate back to them. Administratively, a little bit cumbersome versus just saying, I'm going to donate X amount to this charity. But it has a lot more impact to the clients and to our team when, you know, Sean can pick the charity that's important to him, and Tyler can pick the veterans organization that's important to him. You know, everyone can have their choice, and it takes our bias out of it too. So from a political correctness standpoint, no one can be mad at me for donating money to a certain place, because believe it or not, if you donate money somewhere, like someone's going to get mad at you.
Well, we live in a world where everybody's offended about everything. Really?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so why'd you donate money here? Like, okay.
Why did you help those kids? Don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat kids. No, I'm just kidding. So going back a few years, man, if the Tyler Hodgson of 2021 is going back to 2016, 2017, and they are talking to as far as mortgage years go, a much younger version of yourself. Mm-hmm. What would you tell yourself?
And I'd tell myself there's gonna be a refi boom in 2020, and go open up a call center with 100 headset jockeys. Now, in all seriousness, I mean, I'm very happy with the path I've had, and I'd say I wouldn't change it for the world. But you know, I think our growth has been steady and methodical. I feel like if you grow too fast, that creates a lot of pain. Or if you grow too slow, well, then there's pain there as well. So I feel like the path has been pretty steady. If I wanted to accelerate things or do things a little better, you know, my advice to myself would probably be to hire, you know, support staff, hire assistants for myself sooner. You know, there's always that balance between where's our revenue at, and do I want to hire someone, or should I hold off and make sure things are a little more steady? You know, you go from closing 1 or 2 loans a month to now you're closing 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, and you're just not sure if you're going to be able to maintain that 5 or 6 a month. So you don't want to go hire someone and put that salary on payroll, and then all of a sudden your 5 or 6 drops back to 2 or 3. So there's always kind of that fear, I think, with everybody at every level of your business. I mean, even right now, our company doing many more loans per month, but there's always in that back of your head, like, is the next month going to hold up? But, 2020, we had a lot of refinances. Now we're going back to mostly purchase. So are we going to be able to continue this volume? So my advice would be to hire sooner, and like the volume will follow, focus on operations and sales will come. That's probably my one piece of advice to younger Tyler.
So friends, if you're listening to this, I can count them on no hands, because that's how many it takes. There are 0 successful originators that I know that have ever said, I should have put off hiring.
Right.
Every single person that's successful says that they should have hired sooner and they should have hired more. And, 2 guys that I like a lot from the old school and the new school, Mark Cuban from the new school, Warren Buffett from the old school. Man, your hometown Dallas Mavericks there.
Yeah.
They will both tell you, and if you read what they talk about, the best investment you can make is in yourself. And so as you're thinking about your business and you're thinking about what you're doing, the number one investment that you can make is in yourself. And if you're at a point where you can close 5 or 6 loans a month or 4 loans a month, is where the stress hits, and you can bring that person on, the growth usually happens. The things that you find for them to do happen, and man, it's just, you win. So please, if you got it, man, bet on yourself. There's no better investment that you can make. So Tyler, people always ask the question, what would you go tell your former self? But let's say we're talking to the Tyler Hodgson a year from now. And what are you telling yourself right now that you need to be doing to prepare for what's ahead? What are the plans, man? We live a very reactive world. Most loan officers live a very reactive world. Most mortgage companies live a very reactive world. So what are you doing right now to prepare for the success that lays ahead? And what groundwork are you laying, man? Because I know a year ago, dude, if we could all hire 10 more people or opened up that call center, we would have done it.
Right. Yeah. So we kind of mentioned it when we were just catching up before the podcast call here. And I mentioned my lovely wife, Kim. She's quitting her full-time job. She's going to come full-time into helping NXT and myself. A mix between helping with my personal production and helping with just corporate administrative type functions. So I can continue to focus on company strategy and vision and ideas, because, that's what a lot of us entrepreneurs are. Like, we're the ideas and vision people. And so I think I'm going to move more into a strategy type role, and having, again, hiring more people and bringing more people under me to do more of the administrative and execution portions of my strategy. As a company, we're investing.
Not work on loans.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I like doing loans, but and I'd like to continue to do some loans. Like, I feel like I should always kind of be involved in that a little bit, stay in touch with it. Just like, you next level coaches, like, you guys still produce. I don't want to stray too far away from that, but I don't want to do 20 a month myself. That's too much.
Well, you can have them closing your name. You just need somebody else doing all the work for you.
Yeah, that too. So we're also investing in building out some technology for our company specific, just for task management, project management, internal accounting type, so to get off of spreadsheets, right? Like, everyone's got all these spreadsheets. Some people have different CRMs and stuff, but we're trying to build something internally focused just to help really hone our processes. Awesome. And so we're investing in technology. So yeah, I think just reinvesting in the business and opening myself up to do more things towards growing the business. And that's what I'll be doing the next year.
Awesome, brother. We appreciate you. Thanks for spending some time with us today and sharing your story and knowledge with everyone who is watching or listening on this awesome day. Again, friends, I mentioned at the beginning, Next Level Loan Officers is the #1 podcast for originators by originators in the mortgage world. You can go to Become Next Level LO to find out more about us, to see our other podcasts. You can go to Spotify or wherever your preferred method is and download, stream, YouTube, and watch if you would like. Tyler, my pleasure. I appreciate you, bro. And everyone listening, have an amazing rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.